All right, we're back and ready to get into the next run, which will be a RWBY Grimm Eclipse solo no skip run by Double Double. And with that, we're all ready and set to go. Take it away, Double.
Woo! All right, thank you, Marley. So hello everybody, I'm Double Double, and I'm gonna be rubbing. Good start. Running RWBY Grimm Eclipse, a hack and slash beat 'em up style game based on the popular animated series by Rooster Teeth. I have my two co-coms if they want to introduce themselves.
I'm someone. That's another someone. We're double.
Alright, and I'm Elias. I've played this game. I don't speedrun it, but I know I have my decent amount of knowledge about this game, and I also cosplay for this series, as some of you might have noticed. So I hope Double gets a great run in.
All right, so I'll go into the single player campaign and select my character, and this is where I want to cut off the donation incentive for Ruby's costume.
All right, we will be dancing through the game.
Oh.
Right, so we will be using the Beacon Dance outfit. Before we start the run, I want to show one small thing, which is my skill build. We start with a level 10 character, which is how we do the speedrun. So I'm going to take a level 3 ultimate here. I'm taking this side. For reasons I'll explain in a bit. I'll take this ranged attack. And then get my ultimates up. And get these two bonuses. Which I'll also explain a bit about. A bit more about. So I'll get to where we start time. And then I'll ask for the countdown. Yep, there we go. No, not pajamas. I know some people want pajamas, but
Such as yourself.
dance is the winner. All right, so I'm ready to go.
Alright.
3,
2, 1, go!
Now good luck, but you can't fight in heels.
Stupid lady stilts. Okay, there's a bit of a game freeze. That's a thing that can happen. It's unfortunate, but if it happens, we just gotta deal with it. Alright, so first thing you'll notice is this movement that I'm doing, which is I'm repeatedly jumping, air dashing, doing an attack, and then pressing the counter button to cancel the attack and get myself back on the floor.
And
Which is the fastest method of movement in this game.
you do it basically throughout the whole game as long as you're not fighting. I've been informed.
Yeah, that's wave dashing, but in this game, basically.
We officially call it bee-hopping.
Yeah, no, it's just a meme, just small reference.
Oh, that's not missed halfway. Okay.
I'd like to call it velvet hopping for reasons you know if you watch the show.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You really want me to call it velvet hopping, don't you?
I do.
But yeah, it's a bit of a tough technique to master, and if you mess it up, you get stuck in animations. So it's generally it's better to do it a little bit slower but consistently rather than try to do it as fast as possible and then mess it up.
And what you just saw there was actually the ultimate. Because Double chose a certain path, he now has 3 ultimate charges, I believe.
Yeah, I took two extra ultimates, which was the right side of the skills screen that I showed. Additionally, I took a character-specific ability for RWBY that I need less hits on my combo meter to get a bonus towards my ultimate, because ultimate management is actually very important in this game to deal with these waves fast. Also, despite this being a hack and slash, beating these enemies isn't just blindly mashing the same attack or same combo over and over. Rather, we have specifically laid out combos for each of the enemies.
We're a quarter of the way there. Keep up the good work.
So these are Beowulfs. So I want to get a group of 4 together, and then ult. And I usually jump because there's no vertical limitation on it. On the ultimate, it will hit everything on the ground no matter how high up you are. But attacks will miss you, so it's more so to...
Yeah, it's health conservation, which, well, chapter 1 shouldn't be a big problem, but the farther we go on, the harder it's going to be, of course. So
yeah, and later on we'll also be dealing with RNG with different types of waves that can spawn.
Oh, who doesn't love RNG?
Anyway, good old RNG.
Anyways, besides the ultimate charge, there you can also see green bar with aura. It's basically our health, and to give a little more insight on how aura works, basically aura is kind of a, you can see it as a force field. It's within the lore of the series and also in the game. It's kind of force field. If it depletes, you kind of are powerless and you might die. So when we're low in aura, we try to wait a bit so until aura regains.
Also, for some reason, it takes really long for that enemy to spawn. But yeah, these first 2 chapters have no RNG. There's only one type of wave that can spawn. Also, yeah, there you saw an enemy that had a RB above his head. That's called a team attack. If you play this game multiplayer, when you trigger that, a teammate can press the RB or whatever button you have bound it to execute a team attack. In single player, it's just a opportunity for you to do loads of damage.
Bravo.
Also, yeah, this game. These game slimes are actually dubbed by the official voice actors for the series.
It's said this game is actually, I believe it's taking place between the events of the first and the second season, right?
I forget when exactly it takes place. It takes place at the time the game released, which may have been just after the end of Volume 3.
But I think it was between 1 and 2 because they do all the missions and then that's the second year after, so second semester.
I mean, it has little relation to the actual canon of the show. It pretty much has an original story.
Yeah, they did their best trying to fit in. Also, that's a Borbatus.
So I'm just gonna get close and then shoot him 3 times. Do a charge ultimate and then do a triple light attack into heavy. All right, here I do an uncharged heavy and then an ultimate, and then on this guy.
Elias, maybe you could explain a bit about different moves you can use in the game.
Yeah, basically, well, with RWBY, since of course their moves are based on the actual series, so abilities that and a characteristic of the weapons in the series are basically that every weapon is also a gun, mostly.
Most of the time.
So generally, you can do in this game range attacks, and the physical attacks are split into different categories. Of course, you can think it like a fighting game as different types of attacks.
Special, normal.
Special, normal, light and heavy attacks. You can do ranged with RWBY, which as a sniper scythe, and yeah, that's a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah, so to give some more info, RWBY's site has a name. She likes naming weapons. People name their weapons. It's called Crescent Roads, and it's basically a site super ripple, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Most of the weapons in RWBY are quite well designed, and yeah, really amazing.
Yeah, I would have brought Adam's weapon, but I'm afraid swords and planes do not go very well together.
Yeah, I'd be afraid if you brought that as well.
Why would you be afraid?
Adam?
Okay.
There's a cat here. It's scarred for life. Look what you've done.
So I'm just jumping here to wait for these Beowulfs to group together. I'm just gonna stick in this corner. Oh, that's an interesting camera angle. Right, so wait. Because the ultimate that I'm using, which I showed off, it does more damage than the other one that you can choose. But the other one is easier to group enemies together with. But yeah, the ultimate that I've chosen does more damage. So it's easier to kill groups of Beowulfs with if you can line them up. So yeah. So ultimate uses is really scripted out because this is an alpha Beowulf. And the fastest way to kill him, at least in my belief, is to use 2 ultimates on him.
So yeah, there's also different types of enemies. These are, by the way, these monsters are called the Grimm. They are, they're evil, quite literally. They're the representation of evil in this game, drawn to negative human emotions. Right?
Yeah, that's literally evil incarnate, technically.
Yeah, and as you might have noticed, this game and also just the series itself takes a lot of inspiration from stories such as from the Brothers of Grimm.
Yeah,
Or,
I mean every character of the main 4 characters each have an inspiration from a different character, from different for instance, RWBY is inspired from Red Riding Hood, and the other characters are each inspired from a different tale. So
there's also poems that relate to their stories and how they're introduced. RWBY Red Like Roses.
I believe we have an interesting song about that.
Yeah, but karaoke wasn't an incentive, luckily. But
this is where you are. So there's a radar in the top left that shows you where enemies are. So yeah, so this combo that I've been mostly doing is the standard combo that you do, because it has a good chance of hitting multiple enemies.
We're a quarter of the way there. Keep up the good work.
And it also does a lot of hits, which gives you a lot of opportunities, a lot of chance to trigger a team attack.
The one last thing about the music is that actually later in this game you might hear some of the music as without the lyrics though, but you might hear it on the background, which is really cool because I pretty much love the music of RWBY.
Music of RWBY is pretty amazing, gotta say.
And as you notice right now, this is kind of a different mission. You have to protect the control center. There's a few different kinds of missions.
Yeah, it's not just going on and killing enemies. It's interesting because it's a hack and slash, but you actually have to put some thought in it, and you don't just go about and mash button.
It's also a little of exploring.
Yeah,
and
well,
as we mentioned before, you can play it up to 4-player co-op, like as a team.
Yeah, in general, you can play with friends. That's always fun.
4-man co-op when.
This game is made with multiplayer in mind because a lot of the quotes that the characters say are team-oriented. Alright, so now I'm gonna roll at me.
Music,
I'm gonna use the counter button.
The music.
Also, there is indeed some music playing right now. Will this triple hit? No. So yeah, sometimes they're a little far away.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, we've got a €1 donation from Brykit. I know nothing of this run, but you're gonna rock it, Dubs.
I'm gonna try my best. Yeah, by the way, one thing I haven't mentioned yet is that I overestimated myself a little bit in my skills when setting my estimate for this game. So to kind of put myself on the spot, I will be donating €1 for every 5 seconds I go over estimate.
Ooh.
Oh.
Good luck to your wallet, mainly.
To save you from doing math, that's 12 euros per minute.
Better PB.
Yeah.
That's the thing, my PB is a 108.01, so that's very, yeah, it's very, not a lot underestimate.
Speaking about going fast though, so we talked about aura earlier. Aura is related to another thing in the show, and that's called a semblance, and those are basically superpowers.
Yeah.
Semblances
are canon superpowers.
Yeah, semblances are pretty much not present in this game. Okay, it didn't get camera hacked. Sometimes the camera can face the wrong way. Also, for some reason, B-hopping is very hard. Also, the camera is slightly turning. That's not because there's a dynamic camera or anything. That's because the dead zone on my right control stick is bored.
Nice.
Rip. But you lied, Double. There is actually semblance in the game. Speed, hopefully, for RWBY.
No, not even that, because ironically, for no skips, out of the 8 playable characters in this game, RWBY has the slowest world record.
Oof. Well, that's unfortunate, because in the actual show, yeah, as you might have guessed, RWBY's actual semblance is super speed. Also, for some reason, everywhere she goes, pedals appear. It's not really a semblance, but it's a nice aesthetic you also see back.
No, I think it's part of the semblance.
I mean,
It's
she's-
part of the
The
semblance. It
aesthetics
is
is part of the
yeah,
semblance.
it is a thing that's present in universe.
It is, and she's also actually called RWBY Rose for a good reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I actually found out there's an actress from Australia who actually has the name Ruby Rose.
Interesting.
You can look it up on Wikipedia.
Speaking about that, there's actually quite a lot of voice actors for these shows. The voice acting for the show is pretty great.
Just in general, if you want to have a good time, the show is not that long. Besides, like its seasons are, since it's an animated series, are not that long. So if you want to catch up, it's pretty easy. Even though it's 7 seasons.
Just binge a few days, you will be there.
Yeah, not even a few days, I think.
Depends how healthy you want to be.
It depends how fast you want to be.
We're speedrunners.
We're fast boys.
Yeah.
Except for RWBY, apparently.
All right. So when these creeps, these enemies are called creeps. When they're by themselves, I do a double light into heavy combo, because that's the fastest combo that kills them. But yeah, as you can see there, I got a triple kill because I used the triple light heavy.
So actually, if you, I believe when you counter enemies, they're stunned for a while, right?
Yes. But we don't use it much. Because of the skill set we're using, we can usually brute force team attacks, which are a better stun. Because it also makes them more vulnerable to damage. Like on that Alpha Beowulf, we would have used it if we didn't have ultimates at our disposal.
Yeah. So remind me, in the story we're already past Merlot, right? We know what Merlot is. Merlot.
No, we haven't seen him yet. So thanks for the spoiler.
Oof. Wait,
But
whoa.
it's an excuse plot.
Fair enough, but then again, maybe it could be someone.
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 Ow. Okay, so this is very dumb.
Bore.
Except I didn't do things right. So that's the first death.
So
So yeah, when you are in multiplayer, when you die, a partner can revive you. But yeah, in single player you're by yourself, so it's just game over.
that's a bit more punishing.
Especially since I was on wave 5, so I have to do all the 4 previous waves over again. This is the first big time
I'm
loss.
feeling bad for the wallet, TBH.
I could technically still PB. My PB is not deathless.
Yeah, I know. It's just...
And I have had a previous PB that was deathless,
Yeah.
and I've beaten it with a PB that, yeah, with a run that had a death in it.
Yeah, let's just say, if you could have chosen, you wouldn't have died there, right? So...
No.
Yeah.
No, what was supposed to happen is what I'll hopefully show when when that bear shows up again, which the official name is Ursa.
There indeed, Ursa's, yeah, also, you know, beard-inspired name. They're one of the standard enemies as well, but in this game they're actually one of the enemies you encounter later, and not that frequently.
Yeah, the game's not done introducing enemies yet.
No, but there's still a few. Oh yeah, RWBY has quite a few voice lines. Oh yeah, by the way, from what I remember, RWBY is actually easy for she doesn't have that. Her balance is okay, but she's not strong at all.
She is one of the weaker characters, yeah.
It's just in general, being the technically main character, I think that the devs have gone for
Right,
the
so now we're back
classical.
where we want to be.
It's kind of easy to use.
So that's the attack you
But-
want the Ursa to do, and not the swipe that killed me, because that stuns him. And then we can do a charge heavy attack to trigger a.
Oh yeah, and there's another Ursa.
Yeah, there's the second one. He did his his attack right away.
Ah, the door is open.
Thank you, Ublek. Also, I got bad RNG. That path is blocked off, so I have to go
Dark green
this
is
way,
open.
which has a worse wave to deal with.
Yeah, so wait, was it professor or doctor? Oh yeah, fair enough.
Thank you.
He is technically also a professor and a doctor. So
He's just a genius.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so
He has a PhD.
the man is quite quite energetic.
Yeah.
Even more than I am, surprisingly.
I mean, let's just say I share with him a peculiar trait, and
Coffee.
you know what exactly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't use instant transmission, but
So yeah, so if we're talking about characters, I'll take some time to talk about the characters that are in this game that you can play. There's the 4 girls of Team RWBY, who we're playing as, and then there's also Weiss, Blake, and Yang.
Fun
And then
fact, there's colors as well: red, white, black, and
yeah,
yellow.
RWBY is a gemstone associated with the color red. Weiss is German for white. Blake is an Old English term for black. And Yang is Chinese for sun, which is associated with the color yellow. It's a thing in universe that there was a sort of war against creativity and art and all that kind of stuff. So the people began naming their children after one of the core aspects of art, which is color.
Yeah, so they result in a lot of fun names.
yeah, I mean, it's as I said as well.
Also,
that's-
here's the boss. This is the only time we'll see him in the entire game.
This is an Ursa Mayor.
This is
Yeah.
Ursa Major.
Well,
Also,
it-
this is what's supposed to happen. When you do a triple light heavy, his swipe will always miss you.
It's certainly big.
yeah, this
This is bad RNG, by the way. This is not the attack I wanted to do.
No bad
Just like,
energy went to bed.
just like the normal Ursa, I wanted to do a different attack. So I'm gonna do an ultimate because for some reason that seems to trigger him into doing that.
So the attack that he wants actually makes the Ursa be stunned after he does it, so that's quite easy to hit the Ursa when he stuns himself. So yeah.
All right. So there's a damage. There's no damage limit actually. There's a hit limit which is 12. So we try to do a combo that gets us the hits we want. So ooh, that was a little close.
Just a tiny bit.
All right. All right. Good RNG in the later parts.
At least he's down.
Yeah, the ultimates do a lot of damage, so it's generally a good idea to.
Oh yeah, and so RWBY, game over.
yeah.
No,
we're done.
she's fine.
All right.
Is she really?
See, it says death 0.
Huh. Somehow I don't believe that.
Hmm.
What is happening here?
All right, so now we're in a completely different area.
In other terms, the sewers, I believe. Aren't we?
Is this like?
Also, if there's an enemy nearby that we don't have to kill and we can go past, I will not B-hop because the counter button input will make me gravitate towards them and away from the direction I want to go.
Because of auto aim?
Yeah. The counter button tends to lock on the enemies and objects you can destroy as well.
Oh yeah, so
So I move over here to spawn this encounter. So now the RNG is going to start in the waves.
Oh
so
yeah.
we're in Mountain Glen, right?
Yeah, we're in there.
That's where we were in the previous chapter.
Yeah, but maybe give some info on Mountain Glen. So basically, we already told Grimm are basically evil. And so outside of 4 big cities, there's still a few...
They're technically nations.
Yeah, there's quite a few villages as well, but outside of that, the world is kind of horrible.
And dangerous.
Yeah, because
You don't
there's
want
a
to
lot of
travel
Grimm.
alone.
Yeah, there's lots of Grimm.
Yeah,
and
the one main thing we haven't mentioned yet is that we're huntresses, and
Hunters,
those
yeah.
are people that basically fight the monsters of Grimm to protect the people.
yeah, so basically protectors of the country.
Yeah, hunters and huntresses.
That's basically a D&D adventurer, but
We're superheroes.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
have cool weapons. And cool names, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Ruby Sniper is actually pretty useless in this game.
yeah, so kind of lost track of what I want to say here. Oh yeah, so Mountain Glen. So Mountain Glen is
Oh, that was best RNG, by the way, for that wave.
Mountain Glen is a part just outside of one of these 4 big cities. But they tried setting up a big project, but because the ground below the earth below the surface was kind of hollow and there were caves, a lot of Grimm still appeared, and they couldn't make civilization happen there because people like the Grimm would every time surface, and it was just really dangerous. So they tried closing it off for good from the actual city.
yeah. Then of course that came into play in the plot, and things happened.
Yeah, and then Team Coffee came to rescue. Speaking about coffee. And I mentioned Velvet earlier. She's in the character. Also, it's a bomb.
Yeah, it's a plane. It was. I mean,
All right, so yeah, there's these containers that spawn dust crystals that we can grab to fuel the cart to move to the end of the stage where we need to be.
Maybe we should mention what dust even is. Dust is basically the energy source of the wall series.
it's magical coal that does elemental things.
Yeah, so
The dust
it's
spawns are
basically-
random, by the way, so I'm just hanging out waiting for where it's gonna spawn next.
actually I think it's like the magic.
Uh-oh.
Because humans don't actually have
Get
magic
outta here.
anymore. They used to.
Yeah.
And the magic condensated into dust when gods went angry at humanity.
So I can't B-hop here because I'm gonna counter enemies. If I'm lucky enough with the spawns and good enough with my B-hopping, we're not gonna get a text message that talks about the car running out of fuel. Which I'm gonna try to avoid because that means we're gonna keep this bomb moving the whole time. Fortunately, it spawns very close, so I can actually wait with depositing this.
Yeah, as you might imagine, since we're not fighting enemies right now, it can be pretty bad if the cart stops, because as you can see, you double went already like at 0 aura before, so
Yeah,
So yeah,
but
so yeah, as long as you have aura, you can actually die. It's dependent on the damage you take when your aura is depleted.
yeah. So fun fact. You could also try and
think there's
defeat
one
all
more
the
spawn
enemies,
here.
but as something I was told later after trying to do this, the enemies actually respawn infinitely. So yeah, don't do that, because I did it in my casual playthrough and lost a level because of that.
yeah, it's a cheeky little way to avoid having to do work. That's just
Alright,
not
once
good.
it's at this point,
Oh,
the
it's
last crystal always spawns here. Also, when that deck box appears, you only need one more crystal. Also, Grimm are really dangerous, but they don't know how to climb stairs.
I mean, I wouldn't know how to climb stairs if I just never saw stairs in my life.
They live there. The stairs are there.
One other thing I could have done is let the cart push me. It puts Ruby in a
Mind-blown.
state as if she's in midair, which I could have also done.
Do we have time for some quick donations?
Yeah, most definitely.
Sure. We've got a €1 donation from Hothead Jeff saying, "Be helping is on point, man. F in chat for the first death." And we've got another €1 donation from Adran. G'day from Australia. Good luck on the run double from a fellow runner, Adran.
Thanks for donating.
Yeah, and thank you all for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here in the dead of the night.
What time is it even?
It's 5 a.m.
Oh damn! Why do I feel so energetic?
And thanks to all you lovely people
I
for
know.
watching this run.
There can be like
And
two
for the
reasons.
donations
I'm
towards the
channeling inner
incentive
Oblak.
as well.
That's one
Okay,
reason.
there's the first camera hack. Alright, so I need to find a key. Except it's in one of these pots, but it's kind of random. Except I got it in the first pot group and didn't even realize.
Yeah, I was
because I
kind of
tend to not
wondering.
get it.
I was like, don't you have it? But
Yeah.
oh, okay. So yeah, that was good RNG, and he was just not expecting it.
Unexpected good RNG. That's the best good That's the best good RNG.
Yeah, just
RNG has been suspiciously nice. Let me put it that way.
Oh, just wait for
maybe,
chapter 9.
Maybe it just wants you to PB for once. Until chapter 9.
I don't know. I've had a thing with marathon PBing.
Who knows?
There's a certain other game that I run later on that I have a tendency to PB at marathons in.
Well, we'll see about that. But speaking about PBs, a lot of runs in this marathon so far have been going under estimate anyway.
Well, the first run I did, which was an unexpected bonus run that was added because we were ahead of estimate, that went over estimate.
Yeah, but you kind of saved the... kind of saved the schedule with that.
Yeah, it weirdly worked out. The one time I go over estimate, it was appreciated.
Was that your first time going over estimate?
At BSG, yeah. There's a couple online marathons I've done speedruns before of certain games where I have gone over estimate, but that was the first time I've done it at BSG.
First time for everything, I guess.
Right, I'm just gonna use an alt on these two boyos.
So by the way, something you might have noticed is that there's no corpse of Grimm. This is because Grimm just returned to ashes and fly away.
Yeah,
basically.
that's basically, as I said, they're basically made of concentrated evil arcane energy, and they can be created, technically.
Alright, so now we're gonna actually use the
Very
counter.
technically.
Hmm?
Very technically.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one thing about Grimm is also they don't have aura. They don't have a soul, and aura comes from the soul
Exactly.
in game's lore, so...
Which would be pretty bad if they did, because it's already a problem without a horror.
Would they be Dark Souls?
Yes, there would be.
Damn. People are gonna hate me for these references. But if they already do.
And then I'm supposed to be the evil guy.
You are
Oh, dude,
still an evil guy.
the most nerve-wracking thing of this run is right at the end. You know? 'Cause that's nice. That was a terrible ultimate. Another terrible ultimate because he was invulnerable.
Yeah, so creepers can dig and resurface, of course. And sometimes that can cause you to miss attacks you would like to hit. Also, we haven't explained like those other things we had. They're just strange unknown Grimm, and they appear to explode.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, the mutated Grimm, but in the story we don't know what is up with it. We'll find out in a bit.
I mean, Oblak just said they were mutated anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll find more about it later in the next chapter.
Will we really?
The exploding Grimm are not really that big of a problem alone generally, but
If you get a lot of them
yeah,
stacked
it
up
can
on
be
you.
pretty dangerous.
Yeah, just imagine a bunch of living bombs
Yeah,
stacked up on
exactly.
you. Basically what happened.
Okay, that was too high health. I need to actually fight him now. One triple light heavy finishes him though.
Yeah, and that's what's said earlier, by the way. RWBY says, "Good job, team of love." But
Yeah, even though she's by herself.
maybe
So
she's
like I
just
said, this game
including
was-
us.
This game was
Yeah.
oriented for multiplayer.
It's including us, double. We're the team. Good job.
Mental support.
It's very important.
Yeah. And it's also important to support charity, I believe.
It is a very good charity.
Speaking of which, do we have time for a little plug?
That is exactly what I was aiming towards, so go for it, Marley.
You know, I'm just picking up what you're
Subtle
throwing
hints.
down there. All right. Anyway, we are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We organize a bi-monthly gathering in the Benelux for speedrunners. We're currently streaming our annual live event from Hotel Sterry in Venray, the Netherlands. We're raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society, which is a nationwide organization committed to fighting cancer while aiming for more cure and a higher quality of life for those already battling the disease. All of your donations will go to the Dutch Cancer Society. Want me to carry on a little bit here?
Yeah, this is just waves of enemies we've seen before.
Sure. Speaking of those donations, by donating you'll be eligible for an amazing prize sponsored by Nintendo Core. Any donations will get you a chance at one of the daily prizes, And also we'll give you a 3 times bigger chance for the grand prize. Today's prizes are a Legend of Zelda heart container keychain and Luigi's secret stash of mushrooms, which is like a little keychain thingy. We would like to thank Nintendo Core for sponsoring the prizes. Nintendo Core is an online store that sells Nintendo goodies of all sorts and others merch. Be sure to check them out at nintendostore.org. For that grand prize that I just spoke of, please follow the link that I will post now in chat.
Thanks, host. So by the way, it's quite funny that like while RWBY doesn't seem like fast in this game, there's one character in this game that doesn't have a range attack. It also relates to the show because he's literally...
Also new enemy!
Oh yeah, by the way, big thing.
Oh, by the way, big thing.
I mean, it's a big thing.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't taking next to the description. That's pretty
Easy
accurate.
though.
I'm kind of baffled. It's so easy. Maybe I had trouble with it because I was a low level. But casually, that was a hell.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, it is if you don't know how to fight him, because he's very dangerous if you let him attack. But yeah, by shooting him,
you're not level 10.
Yeah, by shooting him like that, then doing a charge heavy, doing another shot, and then another charge heavy, you can do a lot of damage. Then he breaks out of the stun, and you have to suffer 1 attack. But I use that window to hit him with an ultimate, and then I do and then I do the same thing over again, except I end with a second ultimate if I happen to have to.
Basically, you're saying get good, right?
Yeah, it was an elaborate way to flex on you.
Yeah. But even then, it's this game is, as mentioned before, it's actually a lot of different buttons you have to mash consistently, especially
Also,
during movement.
More perfect RNG, please. No, not this time.
I think it was a fan the last time you didn't notice.
Yeah, now I'm paying attention, and then it's in the last pod group. Sick.
Look, it just wants some attention, okay? Luckily, it's only a few seconds, right?
Yeah, you don't lose too much if you get on the last spot.
No, the key. Yeah, like the keys are not the RNG part where you lose or gain time. That's definitely in the RNG of the wave spawns.
You'd gladly sacrifice your key RNG if it for better wave RNG.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, this is the fastest way to do these, is to use ultimates.
Which is funny because Barbatos actually like, so something about them is like, which is made obvious in the show. They have no skills on the bottom of their belly, and I'm gonna be silent because my favorite song, one of my favorite songs playing.
Yeah,
it's all instrumental, by the way.
I'm aware.
Just in general.
Oh, I'm in midair. I don't want to be in midair.
In the series and in the fighters, Grimm have different weak points, of course, and they've been exploited by, especially doing team attacks.
Did I miss?
In general,
in
the series, the fight cinematics are generally considered one of the best part of the series in the fights. And in general, team wants to do team combos to expose the Grimm weakness, and yeah, those scales are not definitely a good place to attack.
Yeah, but as I said, in this series, indeed, the fighting scenes are really great. They also have some kind of fun team combos in the series themselves.
Yeah,
Bumblebee, etc. They give them names.
Yeah, there's names for team attacks, especially for Team RWBY.
Yeah, and then on the fun side, I believe those are the same names that are used for fanfiction ships.
Yeah,
Yes.
Rooster Teeth actually took the ship names for them.
Yes, that's a thing.
Yeah.
So RWBY plus Weiss is Ice Rose. Blake and Yang is Bumblebee. Weiss and Blake is Checkmate. I forget what Yang and Blake is.
Hey, but the best one is Flower Power.
Ow. Yang and it's like Sister
Red
Power.
Nora.
Yang and RWBY.
Yeah.
I forget what Yang and Weiss is.
Well, Yang and Weiss, hot and cold, I'd say. But yeah, that's
Maybe.
not the name. But that's the accurate
Flower
description.
Power, yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate description.
That sounds right. That sounds familiar.
But I think Flower Power is Ren and Nora.
Oh, that could be too. It is
because
one of the team
Ren brings
power
the
names.
flower, Nora brings the power, quite literally.
Yeah, the flower power is from North.
So I'm gonna hide in the corner again to group these together. Alright, so here these mutated Grimm, which RWBY is very bad at fighting. The other characters can deal with them much faster.
Ren and Nora, by the way, are also characters in this game. They're Ren, Nora, Pyra, and Jean are another team.
Yeah,
They
Pyra
are
and
all-
Jean, team
Pyra, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, Team Juniper.
They're also characters in this game as DLC, I believe.
Yeah, the Team Juniper is the DLC characters, as well as the costumes that I turned into a bit war for you guys.
Yeah, so it's really fun that they're in the game. And it's a fun team as well, and they're also a pretty good part of the show.
Right.
Also another big boy.
So in the top left, you can see enemies too, and I am fairly certain that the second one is another one of these mutated Beowulfs. So I'm actually only using one ultimate, and then using a normal shot plus charge heavy for the last hit. So I can do both of these moderately fast. 'Cause using an ultimate for this last hit is saves less time than having to do the alpha or the mutated Beowulf without ultimates.
Someone here is learning how to deal with them.
I'm confused.
Yeah, you say you
Come
were.
on.
Yeah, we was flexing on you before, so.
I see. But when is three-man co-op?
Oh dear.
Yeah, you have to ask.
I've done a
Double.
few co-op runs of this actually with my buddy Kiwi.
Well, four-man co-op incoming.
I mean, it could be a thing. I had to learn how to go fast. I mean, I already know the game, so I only have to learn how to go fast.
Yeah, luckily Adam is not in game.
That would be awesome.
I mean, I'd be playing Blake, so
Oof.
some rivalry going on here.
That's a big oof.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Alright, so we're about to meet my least favorite enemy in this game.
Maybe we can get a signal if we reach that tower.
Red androids.
Let's show these buckets of bolts who's boss.
Oh yeah, these exist.
Luckily, this first pair is very easy to deal with, but later ones will be a lot more problematic, or can easily be a lot more problematic.
Yeah, so
So-
we're trying to get a radio tower now, right?
So they pretty much always spawn in pairs, and RWBY has a big tendency to shoot the wrong one. So the one that I'm intending to shoot hits me and gets me out of the shooting combo. Because that's where the ranged part of my build comes in. The specific upgrade that I took changed an electrical current between up to 4 enemies, which stuns them.
Yeah, so by the way, for those who joined us later, basically every level, it's like you have certain stats which can upgrade certain parts of your kit. He had a specific, he made a specific loadout, you could say, of which makes him able, for example, to do he has 3 charges for his ultimate. That's one of the benefits of what he selected. And he's just explaining how that comes into play during the run.
Yeah, it's just of course you have to prepare for this, as you want to optimize not necessarily damage, but this build has a lot of utility in it, especially because you use ultimates a lot.
And you got to get a lot of enemies
No,
together.
I want to be here.
Because having multiple enemies die at the same time, it kind of saves time if you can take a big group out at once.
Yeah, and since Double here, I mean, he's pretty skilled at the game. He doesn't want to do the ultimate that groups enemies together, because there is the other version groups enemies together. But Double is pretty skilled at it. He doesn't need the ultimate to do his work for him. He just groups them together.
Yeah, as long as they're close enough, the ultimate range will be enough to take care of them.
Yeah, the hitbox is pretty big, so.
Yeah. So if you were wondering why RWBY can jump so often and not be tired, RWBY loves a lot of cookies.
Yeah, definitely.
Now I'm craving for a cookie.
There's a cookie-related quote later on.
Why did you say cookies? I'm hungry now.
I jinxed myself, now I'm also hungry. Well, I know what I'm gonna do after this run.
I need also a load of coffee.
Alright, he's gonna burrow. Ow.
So what you hear in the background now is Red Like Roses, the second part of Red Like Roses, I believe. Well, it's gone now.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't hear it. Too many Grimms dying.
Yeah, that's the only unfortunate part about the music. It's the music is really great, but sadly it doesn't come. You don't hear it too much from the game, which is sad because
Especially
really
if you're
like
bee
the music.
hopping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all the
maybe
animations.
I should have adjusted my settings to make the music louder. Alright, so there's a lot of dialogue to go through here. So I'm gonna take my time to shoot all these breakable objects.
Yeah, this is 7, by the way.
Yeah, we're in chapter
Yeah,
7 now.
Chapter 7.
Oh, I thought it was his name. You know, it said on the phone. It was called
Oh, that's
7.
that's a question mark.
Oh, that's a question mark? I'm blind. Hey.
But yeah, here's Dr. Merlot, who you mentioned earlier.
Oh,
So this is where we get introduced to him.
Wait, what's that him?
Yeah, this is him on the phone.
Oh, I thought it was me.
Oh, sorry, Scroll, as it is known as in the RWBY universe.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm beginning to realize why you think that you were scared of my sword.
I'm glad I brought the pillow with
I
me.
keep doing the wrong combo. I tried to do,
Take this.
well, whatever,
calm
that
down.
works.
Take this.
It's also very good for slapping people.
The pillow.
Ah,
But it's a pillow.
yeah.
Okay, I guess.
So-
If you slap hard enough.
We meet again, Dr. Merlot.
Okay, so now we have a bit of time with dialogue. I can show you. I can hide in this rock.
Oh yeah, and besides Dr. Merlot, Alphen is introduced. Oh yeah, so by the way, Hunters and Huntress kinda, we're still in training, so we're at a school for Hunters and Huntresses. And the other guy who was just mentioned, Alphen, or Alf for short, is basically your headmaster.
Yeah, he's the headmaster of Beacon Academy, the combat school that the characters in the show
It's
attend.
basically middle school.
I think it's more like high school.
It's more like high school because
Is
you
it?
intended to start there at age 17.
Yeah, and RWBY kind of skipped 2 years, so yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
because reasons.
Yeah. Watch the first episode. So just clearing out another Ursa now.
I thought you perished in the Mountain Glen disaster.
What's your favorite character?
Sun.
Sun?
Yeah.
I guess RWBY, but sure. Sun is cool.
No, my favorite character from the entire show is Sun Wukong.
I can understand why he's pretty cool.
Yeah. The fun fact about Sun, when they were producing episodes, Sun's hair is so detailed that putting like three suns on the just in the scene made everything lag.
Yeah.
Just
so,
because of the number of tries.
so speaking about Sun, actually there's 2 races in the lore. There's human, like RWBY, and there's faunus. Faunus are basically half human, half animal, you
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah, they have animalistic traits. The
Blake, for
the
example,
visual trait is
whatever.
that they have
Yeah.
an animalistic feature such as cat ears, a monkey tail, or rabbit ears, or
It varies.
yeah.
One thing faunus have in common is that they all have night vision.
Which was used to good effect in battles because, of course, yeah, whenever there's this kind of things, the faunus and humans, especially the more extremistic groups of both, don't really go together, right?
Right. Anyway, so yeah, there's different parts to play there, but indeed there's been battles. Faunus are being discriminated, more or less, and just watch the series. You'll notice more about that. It's a long story.
It won't
Yeah.
change the fact that you're powerless to stop me.
You'll botch this somehow. You always do.
Well, let's agree to disagree. I tell you, Alves, it has been truly a pleasure catching up. But
I think this is
unfortunately,
very
it's time
accurate
to
what we're
go.
saying in
Yeah.
class right now.
Chum?
Team, we've
Wild
been attempting
chum.
to locate Merlot's island, but have yet to obtain its coordinates. I need
So yeah, there's a
continued
fair amount of
exploration.
dialogue we have to wait for here.
You find any evidence
So
of his
yeah, but
whereabouts.
what's your favorite character?
My favorite character. I believe you already know what my favorite character is.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm still scared.
Okay, technically, after the poor performance in the last season, I'm not really sure it's my favorite character still, but it was for the best part of like multiple years. So
Fair enough.
still sticking to my guns.
Mine
I guess.
happens to be Blake, so...
Oh yeah, this is where we
Yeah,
find out
that's
how.
pretty
Yeah, this is where we
Yeah.
find
fitting,
out.
I would say.
This is where we find out how those mutated Grimm came to be.
Lots of green goo.
Lots of green goo.
You. Yeah, so I think that actually damaged you, doesn't it?
Okay. So I have mixed feelings about this because the fastest wave that you can get here is 2 red androids. But as I've mentioned before, they're my least favorite enemy. But it is the fastest wave that you can get.
Let's shut off that valve.
Well, this wave
that was
wasn't
fast.
too bad.
Said shut it down and didn't happen.
Yeah, the androids in
Yeah, we have
general.
steam here that's blocking our path. By the way, if you air dash into that, you instantly die.
Yeah, so let's not do that.
Everything you're saying, you know.
That is pretty interesting. Like whenever you're playing the game with friends, and I used to do that a lot, especially because I mean we have a
Alright.
cosplay group, and mostly everybody has the game. The first time it's a running joke. Yeah, try to get over the stage, and you get people to do it. It's pretty funny.
No.
I wonder
Stop
if you
going
can
over here.
actually glitch through the dead zone by respawning.
I've never.
Oh god, they're here.
I've never seen it, but I won't be surprised if
So he was
that
too far
happens.
away to stun him, so I'll just do it separately.
Because it's the same, what we do a lot in Lara Croft is we actually die at like a dead zone and we try to spawn into it so we can get past
Alright, so I'm
it.
gonna. So it's
Alright.
one by itself is not a problem, so I'm just gonna brute force this. Alright, we get the left side. So it doesn't really matter which of these paths you get sent to, whether it's the left or the right. It's just that the bad waves are the bad RNG waves are worse on this path than they are on the right path.
Oh yeah, by the way, some might wonder why there's like, why this girl's wielding a dead side.
See, this guy almost hit me.
Why would you be wondering that? It's perfectly normal.
Yeah, I guess in this universe it is.
Yeah, that's just perfectly normal.
That makes me wonder though, why do they
I actually forgot where the
androids have
valve is.
weapons?
I actually forgot where the valve is for this one because in my practice runs
Because why not?
I got the right
Fair enough.
path of this.
Unbridled raw
Oh yeah, so now he's explaining he's basically the guy who mutated and he's the big evil guy, and yeah, maybe everything you guessed so far.
Yay, I'm the big bad evil guy.
I knew it!
Oh no.
Right.
Because Totally's voice isn't that one of a big bad evil guy.
Fair enough.
Oh god, I'm in the steam.
You just realized.
There we go. There the lightning chain together.
I don't think the
So
same
I
goes for the
stun them
enemies,
both.
does it?
I do a heavy
What?
attack on both, and then I do triple light heavy to.
The enemies don't die
end
if they're
them.
in this team, do they?
No.
Unfortunate. Would be
I
cool.
mean, they're androids. I
Yeah.
suppose they're heat-proof, at least to some extent.
Yeah, I may hope so. Or
I mean,
not.
if not,
for
shoutouts
us.
to whoever designed them, because that's a dumb idea.
I mean, probably Merlot.
Yeah, I mean, just I don't know.
Yeah, those androids are Merlot's creation.
Speaking about androids, there's quite a few of them in the game, in the series as well, isn't there?
Alright, so they're comboing me. So I'm gonna use the iframes of the ultimates.
And that's the reason androids are pretty annoying. Also, they have loads of health for being a standard enemy.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of late game, so...
Yeah,
I'm
but
trying to
compared
do this
to
one proper. There we go, good.
I mean,
So
imagine...
I'm going around this enemy to keep them close together, so I can hit both of them with the triple light heavy.
that was actually a pretty good kill on the androids.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think...
that's the standard kill that you want, but it's only the third shot that stuns them, and you can get interrupted easily.
Yeah, it's not. It's the way you want to kill them, but it's not as easy to get it. As
Okay,
it,
so
as it
shoot
sounds.
one twice and then shoot the other one. So that's a way to kill them with range.
Good job. No, I was thinking...
Alright, so here's the first time we see a white android who more so keeps his distance from you. which is fine, because if you get close to him, he shoots himself away from you. So we can just take our time to stun him, and then do that.
Things happen for a reason, Oz.
But so, I was thinking, those androids actually, because in a casual playthrough you would be around level 8 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be quite difficult even.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
as I said,
when you play this game normally, when you don't have your character level maxed out,
You really need to play with teammates actually.
you get experience for beating enemies. The experience pop-ups still pop up on this, even though I am max level. But yeah, also for breaking things and
getting experience from breaking things.
Yeah, there's sometimes these white sprites that appear. You can pick this up for XP as well.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, there's
It's just-
artifacts which look like chess pieces.
Yeah, for plot reasons.
Of course.
Yeah, super secret reasons. What show?
In
Yeah.
reference, in-house Easter eggs.
But yeah, it's fun to see those.
Okay, so
back.
now we have this type of wave, which we can start seeing now.
Basically clusterfuck of alright kinds
Yeah.
of enemies.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I try to stun.
Exactly.
So I want to get rid of the white androids first, so I'm just shooting him to keep, shooting the mutating Beowulf to keep him stunned.
Just in general, now we're getting to the serious part.
Now
Yeah,
that's
this
late
is where
game,
the game,
boys.
this is where the game actually starts ramping up in difficulty.
Apparently we're making ourselves home.
But my security team rarely
Yeah, we're inside Merlot's lab right now. So there was steam blocking our path, and we need to hit this valve to turn it off, and then we can go on our merry way.
here at Merlot Industries.
The actual dangerous part of this stage is still coming up.
Together, with your help and a little of your special spark.
Yeah, we
will
mentioned
build a
levels
better
before.
tomorrow.
In general, going through the first 2 chapters with a maxed out character isn't that hard to do. The hard part is in general just trying to do it fast.
So yeah,
Now, yeah, now we're getting to the part that's actually hard to complete even. So
Yeah, and where energy also
Oh,
really
no.
plays a big part.
all right.
So how far are we from estimate? I'm kind of curious.
how far?
Are we from estimate?
Yeah,
15
it's a 15 minutes.
Right.
It's hard to tell right now. Also, I don't have ultimate, which means I have to. So
now
I'm
we're
trying to
breaking
keep my
stuff.
distance from these mutant creeps, because they can kill me pretty easily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you get comboed, that's really bad here.
If you get blown up by 2 at once, you die.
Yeah, this is what we
'Cause
talked
one
about
fully
earlier with
drains
the
your
rubber
aura.
ones, right?
What?
This is what we talked about earlier. It's like having 100 bombs run at you
Yeah.
at all at once. That's what can happen here, and you just
There we
don't
go.
want that.
Kept my distance.
Yeah, you're like, I'm dead.
Right.
Great.
So triple,
Yeah.
and then single, and boom. All right. Now I need to kill the enemies that are still here to spawn the proper wave. Yes, that means you two. Okay.
There we go
This
with
wave.
music.
Yeah, he's only
Nice.
available to shoot at certain points. Alright, I am going to die in 1 hit now. So I'm actually going to take my time to let my aura recharge. So I'm just
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
yeah, especially since I had 1 death already.
Yeah, so if your aura is almost depleted, you just die with the next hit. That's when you hear this sound, it's when your aura is actually...
It's not literally 1 hit, but it's not much damage that you can take.
Well, yeah, it's basically your...
Why are you up there? That's a very weird place for you to be.
Lore-wise, you're basically left with only your physical strength and not your magical
Alright,
barrier
let's-
called aura to protect you.
Yeah, so that.
Wait,
that-
where's the...
He's stuck.
He gets stuck behind that pillar.
We should skip him the hog.
Ah, he's too far away. I can't hit him.
I don't think we want to hog that.
No.
All right, let
I
me
don't
move
think
to a
either.
more favorable area.
So aura just replenishes when you're out of combat for a bit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just when you don't take damage for a certain amount of time.
Oh, now he appears also on the bigger screens,
Break
by the
all
way.
my things. But alas,
Is there one here?
my
Yeah.
androids will
Oh, yeah, there.
rebuild time. This way, please.
So, We destroyed his stuff and he's not even mad.
I think that's a good thing for RWBY because she loves destroying stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you don't love weapons for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, RWBY loves a few things. Weapons, destroying stuff, and cookies. Lots of cookies.
If you're not counting my own intellect.
Wait, so if you tell her to destroy cookies, that would be mixed feelings.
Wow, check out all these computers.
I think this is the first.
I think she would
That's
just
the first
break
time I
down.
haven't had red androids
Should we
on that
just
wave.
Break down.
Nothing yet.
Oof.
Well, that was a bonk.
Not really. The sound effect was the
The vent opening.
vent breaking.
Yeah,
I
opening,
shot the
quote-unquote.
vent.
How could
Fair
I
enough.
be so stupid?
So this is the weirdest progress bar ever, because it goes up based on the enemies we defeat.
Prepare to meet your doom.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Lots of O's in that Doom.
Doom.
Doom. That's another game.
All right, I'm just gonna keep him stunned and fight this guy head
Do we have a
on.
Doom run? Do we have a Doom run? I think we do.
Do we? No, I don't think we have a Doom this year.
What?
but,
Where have I read? I don't know. I've read something as stuff. I was thinking about the schedule, but
Would be cool to have a Doom run sometime.
Okay, more of these. That's okay. If I can get the stun off early, then not exactly what I meant to do, but
At least you didn't get it
I'll
dead,
I'll just do it like this.
yeah, we mentioned before the androids are really dangerous when they're two, because they can combo you.
All right, I like these enemies
Are there
right now
occasions where
because
there's more than two?
they're good to build ultimates on.
Yeah, I mean, it's general. If it's one, they can stun lock you and kill you,
Fair enough.
unless you're at 0 health already.
Or unless you're bad like me.
Oof.
All right, let me just team attack him.
Spin to win.
Dude, where's my spin? These are
Here-
references to.
Here's your spin.
I think Merlot wants to let
All
it
right,
rip.
this is a big mess.
You think?
Merlot wants to let it rip.
Let it rip.
Yeah. People
Okay.
are really hating me.
Actually,
Oh yeah, by the way, we didn't mention, but we're basically hacking, I guess? Or what are we doing?
yeah, we're sending like information to Ospin so he can figure out what we need to do to stop Dr. Malo.
Well, I think
Oh
RWBY
god, that
knows
actually
what to
brought
do.
me down to 0
Just
aura.
destroy everything.
No, it's spin, spin, spin!
But she spins because she wants to destroy everything.
Okay,
If
fair
you
enough.
spin with
I'm
a
about,
scythe,
I'm about 2 minutes. I'm about 2 minutes behind PB, so
Still underestimate then, I guess. Hopefully.
that's
that would
literally.
be exactly estimate.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be fun.
Imagine if I got 110 exactly as a time.
That would be hilarious.
Big applause if you do.
Okay, I messed up in menuing.
Okay, rip 10.
Rip estimate. Just adjust the estimate by 5 seconds.
Okay, beacon dance. Because I need to refund my skill points here. So I'm not gonna set my new skills yet because I want to get into the area to spawn the encounter first. Because I know by now what to do here.
Let's hurry up and finish so I can ride on the airship.
So this is a far more defensive build that takes uses skills such as giving me more health. You can see that on the thing. I can also survive more damage after my aura is depleted, and my aura recovers much sooner.
Is this because of all the robots that spawn?
Well, the main reason for it I will explain when it becomes relevant, which is at the final boss.
Oh, fair enough.
Also, we're gonna ignore the enemies for now.
So yeah, by the
Hey.
way, we're in the final level.
Yeah, triple
Yeah,
light heavy.
Chapter 10.
Triple light heavy destroys all, like, the full set.
Oh hey, big boy.
Alright, get the stun on him.
I mean, I think it's already quite relevant here because you got hit quite a few times there.
Yeah, the additional defense and health really helps here.
Alright, so I'll explain the technicalities for it now. Since I can do it without spoiling. So the final boss, when it is vulnerable, there's a damage limit for him.
You did it. That will deliver
And and when you cross that damage limit, yeah, his vulnerability stops. But all the damage you exceed the damage cap by still counts. So so what we try to do is what we try to do is deal as much damage as we can, like get as close to the cap as possible, and then
You're low on aura.
yeah, I know. But now with the defensive build, I can survive one explosion
But that's
while
good.
without aura.
That's good because they seem to spawn fast here.
Yeah, it's the main kind of spawn here.
Do they actually spawn from
So-
those fates?
So what we do is we use combos to
I
get.
don't think they actually
So, yeah.
spawn, but they spawn pretty fast.
So for the final boss, we use a triple light into heavy, and then we use RWBY's ultimate. We would normally use RWBY's ultimate that we've used before.
Also, yeah, the floor here can be pretty annoying, especially if you're managing your health and the
All right,
spike
let me
floor
let me
pops.
form my sentence for the thing. So RWBY's normal ultimate does multiple hits, so only the first hit of that ultimate is going to count. So we change it to the level 1 ultimate, which is a single hit. Because yeah, RWBY's level 3 ult that we normally use is multi-hit. That was a very jumbled explanation. I hope you understood.
It's basically you want one hit instead of a lot of hits.
Yeah, you want one big hit instead of a flurry of blows.
Yeah,
Because
get
of
as
the
close
way
to the damage cap as possible, and then one big hit.
handled this well. The team back at Beacon is
If I manage my ultimates correctly, and we'll have full ultimates by the time the final boss spawns,
Cookies.
you'll see how much damage I can do with it.
So by the way, I think this is the final area, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the final area. So we have 4 waves, and after those 4 waves, the final boss is going to spawn. And I'm not going to say what it is because it will become apparent. It will become very apparent once it spawns.
It isn't a cookie, is it?
I don't think so. If it would be, it
No,
would,
although the cookie-related line I mentioned earlier.
It was just said, yeah. I think, was it?
No,
Yeah.
it is coming up.
yeah, they are cookie lines.
Okay, but are there actual cookies? That's what I want to know. I'm hungry.
Not.
I'm afraid not.
No, that's not cookies shown here. Also, I do have to fight these enemies differently because I have a different ultimate to work with.
Let's make this more interesting.
But that's the fortunate thing. A lot of these enemies have non-ultimate methods to deal with them, and the actual physical and range attacks don't change because I still have this range attack that I use. I do keep that because that's going to be very important for the later phases of the fight. Also, yeah, the white androids have 2 attacks. They can fire a bomb at you that will explode after some time.
Yeah, they
And
can throw
have
the grenade.
and they have the machine gun fire, which can miss you if you're lucky, if you're in the right position. So that was the bomb. All right. So I do get invisibility frames off of the team attack, so it is advised to use them. Also, I can take more of a beating now,
But do you want to take a beating?
I don't think so.
as long as I have aura left.
I mean, who knows? Earlier with Tricro, he was glad getting stabbed. So I'm just asking.
Okay.
XCOM is a
Alright.
weird game.
Yeah.
How many times did it crash?
definitely.
Beginning to think I've made a huge
Once.
mistake.
He went underestimate, he PB'd, but he crashed once.
I did hear about the PB. I didn't hear about the crashes.
It was a lot of fun though.
It's a pretty interesting run.
Okay, so I actually accidentally shot him twice before the first charge attack. So basically, yeah, he breaks out of the stun after 4 hits.
Gotcha!
All right, so there's 1 enemy left, which is another one of these. Now my ultimate management has not been the greatest, so I don't have ultimates to start this fight off. Although I might get one off of this.
And so it has come to this.
A mutated Deathstalker!
Don't be shy.
It's a big scorpion.
You can
Yeah,
learn a
basically.
lot from this
Also, Deathstalkers are, yeah.
Okay, so look at this damage.
Your easy prey. Is
Look at the
that
damage that
best
ultimate
you've
did.
Nice. It's 110 or something.
got? Seems a little, doesn't it?
Alright, so I do have these spike floors to deal with. So
But
when
now
we
you
don't,
get good songs
yeah,
in
so
the
when,
background.
when I
Yeah.
don't have ultimates, the combo to use is yeah, triple light heavy and then a double light heavy.
Also, Merlot is saying his Scorpion is not deadly. I don't think he's ever... Yeah.
Yeah, never.
Alright, there's a single one there. Alright, so that was the first phase. So the second phase starts off by spawning these. However, if you're quick and nimble, yeah, you can kill all 4 of them with the triple light heavy.
I don't think...
Also, this white android spawns, but that is the least of my concerns.
Yeah, white androids don't really do that much damage. The really annoying thing is the grenade, because if it hits you, it can stun you, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the normal shots are easily dodgeable.
yeah, it's just that if you're focused doing other things,
Also,
they can hit you.
I'm also rapidly moving back and forth to basically jabay him into missing. Okay, so if I shoot these right, there we go, they all explode.
By the way, now you can hear the song in the background for longer. This Red Like Rust Part 2.
Alright, so here's the annoying
good
part.
song.
There's a red android here.
Yeah, it's of
So I
course
just shoot him to stun him
it's
to give myself time to wail on this.
of course because it's a game track. It doesn't have lyrics, but I recommend people to listen to the song with lyrics as well. It's
Also,
really
there's-
good.
Also, there's no point in killing this enemy to get rid of him because a new one immediately spawns. I also want to take this time to build up my ultimates to full before using them.
In general, there's just a couple of idle moments
I'm
in
actually,
the fight.
yeah, so I'm gonna actually fight him here to build my ultimate.
Yeah, maybe also to make sure to not that they don't bother you later, I guess.
Okay, I'm not gonna get there in time, am I? Nope.
Well, not really, because it can respawn basically instantly. But the point is that you're just farming ults.
Okay, so you
at
have
this
so
point.
little health, I'm just gonna spawn a new one so I can just stun that one.
I never knew that socks could fire things.
So yeah, I can afford to get hit by his tail retracting because it does very little damage. So I need to be very careful here with the projectile shots he does while I'm trying to deal with these alpha creeps. Luckily that one is stunned so I can... Oh, the stun wore off, dang. Okay, he got stunned again.
That's
'Cause,
another
yeah,
reference.
I'm killing the enemies that don't respawn. He is low on health. Also, the Deathstalker itself does contact damage to the enemies as well.
At least something we can use.
Alright, at this point, the ultimates are enough to kill him. So now I also don't need to stun this guy. I can just go up, wait for him to plunge his stinger down, as Merlot likes to say. No, 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 no.
That was very, very close.
That was Monka S right there.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a Deathstalker for a reason.
I can also see we've already gone over estimate. Why do you keep on borrowing under me?
I think he wants a lot of money for charity.
Yeah, I was doing that for charity.
Alright, so that was final boss done, but it's not yet time. I did not forget to call for time, don't worry.
Rip your
Because
wallet.
there's a small escape sequence. So do get ready on time.
No, we ended with a Yang!
Thank you for that. Okay, so what I need to do is go this way and spawn this text box. Now, normally the auto splitter ends time for me, but I'm just gonna run around here because time is gonna end when RWBY stops moving. And So I got a 1:12:02, which is 2 minutes over estimate. So that is, as I heard people say, that is 24 euros that I will be donating.
Good.
There it goes. I'm just very happy that the final boss. I did the final boss in one try, and one death is acceptable for a marathon run.
It's not that many, so...
No, it
it's
wasn't
only
right.
one.
I do want to say I would have gotten underestimate if I hadn't died. I did lose more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, you had to redo 5 waves, I believe.
I
Yeah.
redo 4. I died at the start of wave 5.
Unfortunate.
Well, if you
This
died at the
music
end,
track is original, by the way.
All right, so time
Yeah,
for some
it's original.
time for some shout-outs while these credits play. So first I want to thank my co-commentators for joining me on this adventure.
Thank you for letting us join.
yeah.
And I also want to thank the wonderful people in the audience for sitting here. You guys who have watched this run, I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks to the generous donators for the entire marathon, but also for the ones that donated towards the incentive that I'd set up. Also, big shout-outs to, in particular, Stativ and Feldy, who are the absolute gods of this game. When I first got into this game, they are the ones who helped me set up with learning the strats and learning about what builds to use. And they've been a massive help, thanks to the couple people from the RWBY community who showed their faces during the run in the form of donations as well. And one last thing I want to say before I sign off is that this game actually started as a fan game by a completely independent person, and Rooster Teeth was so impressed that they actually hired him into Rooster Teeth to develop the game.
So yeah, if you're ever interested, just try your best, and who knows?
Yeah, it's,
Yeah,
it's
we have
just-
a
it's a very inspiring story, yeah.
yeah. If you are interested in picking this up as a speedrun, we're very happy to help. There's a Discord link on the speedrun.com page, and yeah, that is gonna be it for me. Next up is Valkyrie Profile by your boy Sniper Wave. Woo! And after that run, I will be back for some Tarzan Untamed. So see you guys then.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Double for that great run. As Double already mentioned, next up is Valkyrie Profile by Sniper Waves. I'll be leaving you. You'll be getting Buttmeister Mark. But before all of that, we'll be setting up and we'll be playing some ads. Take care, guys.